So as you may know, the entire purpose of this channel is to make life-changing returns by investing in early-stage, undiscovered assets that are about to partake in a mega trend. That is the secret to life-changing returns. If you go back in history and look at all the assets that gave life-changing returns, that's what they all did. They were revolutionary enough that they had the potential for a global scale of adoption. Internet stocks, uranium miners like Paladin, back here when the market was just waking up to how important nuclear would be. Obviously, it plummeted when the market cooled down because of the meltdown event over in Japan, in Fukushima, Japan. But it seems like the world is waking up to the revolutionary nature of nuclear. It's developing brand new technologies. Nuclear is slated to become the primary energy source of all activity on planet Earth. We cover it on the Nuclear News Show every single week. Governments, companies are all investing heavily into it because they see that it's the future. So it's taken a few decades to get comfortable with it, but humanity is adopting nuclear. And so what we do on this channel is study assets that could potentially provide life-changing returns because they have serious exposure to the nuclear megatrend. Today, we're going to talk about Lightbridge Corporation. Market cap $103 million, losing money. The chart is horrendously ugly, which could be a very good thing. Remember, an asset as revolutionary as Amazon nosedive 90%. So past price means absolutely nothing when it comes to thinking about what the future price could be. It's all noise. And so the chart looks horrendous. That could be based on pure emotion from the market, or it could be based on some rational analysis. So let's dive into what this company is all about, see if it's quality enough to make an investment in. What is Lightbridge? The company says Lightbridge is a leading developer of nuclear fuel technology for current and future reactors, expected to enhance the safety, economics, and proliferation resistance of nuclear fuel by operating about 1,000 degrees Celsius cooler than standard fuel, enabling power up rates and extended cycle length. So that sounds incredible. It does. But the financial markets are littered with the corpses of companies that have promised revolutionary technology and couldn't deliver. So let's continue diving into this asset to see what its potential is. $20 billion plus and growing addressable market for current worldwide nuclear reactor fleet. Lightbridge Fuel is designed to operate with nearly every reactor in the world, including those under construction and planned. Lightbridge Fuel is also usable in coming water-coated small modular reactors. So it's a play on small modular reactors. That sounds great. I want to see adoption. I want to see who their customers are. But first, robust patent portfolio protects return on investment. Expanding our patent portfolio continues to be a strategic focus for Lightbridge. That could be potentially massive if they actually control patents that the nuclear industry needs to build out the small modular reactor technology it's working on. These new patents will help safeguard the company's intellectual property, which is an integral element of the company's plans to monetize Lightbridge Fuel. Existing patents related to the following core areas: fabrication method using the casting route, fabrication method using the powder metallurgic route, all metal fuel assembly design, multi-lobe metallic fuel rod design. So let's look at some of their achievements. The Idaho National Laboratory and Lightbridge will work together to confirm the extrusion process parameters prior to producing future fuel samples using high-assay low-enriched uranium. Lightbridge's work is part of its strategic partnership project and cooperative research and development agreement with Battelle Energy Alliance LLC as the U.S. Department of Energy's operating contractor for INL. That is positive. It does have a big partnership. Essentially, it's partnering with the U.S. Department of Energy. That is massive. Performance data gathered will support fuel performance modeling and regulatory licensing efforts for the commercial deployment of Lightbridge Fuel. So let's dive deeper into this potentially massive partnership. Lightbridge signed a 7-year agreement with the Idaho National Laboratory. So again, that is very positive. Lightbridge is connected to the Department of Energy through this partnership. Now, here's another big one potentially. Lightbridge collaboration with MIT, obviously an incredibly prestigious school, in Department of Energy funded study of accident-tolerant fuels in SMRs. So $800,000 was given to MIT, which is distributing that to Lightbridge and NuScale Power. Objectives: investigate near-term opportunities of accident-tolerant fuels for light water-cooled small modular reactor design spaces. Simulate the fuel and safety performance of Lightbridge fuel for the NuScale SMR. Now it's connected to NuScale. Here's another partnership. Lightbridge collaboration with Texas A&M University, and again, another Department of Energy funded study of advanced fuels in SMRs. $1 million went to Texas A&M, and some of that's going to Lightbridge and NuScale. Objective, develop pressure drop correlations for Lightbridge fuel in NuScale SMR conditions. So that is extremely positive that the Department of Energy and MIT are choosing Lightbridge's technology to study and putting money into that research. So what do we have to look forward to for this asset? In 2024 and 2025, their goal is fabrication of fuel material samples for radiation testing in the advanced test reactor. So we're still in the R&D phase, pre-revenue, incredibly early. We expect the significant government funding for nuclear energy in the coming years may help accelerate our fuel development for existing nuclear power plants and future SMR applications. That is correct. The government is pumping billions and billions of dollars into researching this technology because it understands how important it is. Some of that money is flowing into Lightbridge. SMRs powered with Lightbridge fuel are expected to have a vastly improved load following capability compared to traditional reactors. May allow SMRs to work more efficiently in different missions, including replacing natural gas plants to back up renewables. And so that's the vision. The US government is funding research that would enable Lightbridge to create the technology to enhance the output from small modular reactors, which are in the early stages of a mega trend. They're projecting a $60 million annual gross revenue increase to utility per large pressurized water reactor. So $48 million would be a 10% increase in electricity produced by the reactor. $8 million would be from increase in reactor operating cycle from 18 to 24 months. And $4 million would be from fewer times the reactor is shut down to refueling. So what they're saying is there is a massive potential economic benefit for these reactors to use Lightbridge. And so that's the vision. That's the bull case. Again, the financial markets are littered with the bodies of pharmaceutical firms and tech firms that promise something great but can't deliver. It's an extremely positive sign, though, that the US government is investing in this technology and is probably going to continue investing in this technology, which could be a game changer for SMR. So let's look at the financials of this company. Unfortunately, they are unaudited financials, which means we do have to take them with a grain of salt. So the total current assets of this company as of the end of Q3 was $27 million. Total current liabilities, $1 million. So they have a pristine, solid balance sheet. They have plenty of cash to invest. They're not going bankrupt anytime soon. Now, here's the unfortunate aspect of this. They have an at-the-market ATM offering will be used for fundraising at prevailing market prices. So what they're saying is they're going to have to continue dumping shares into the market and diluting their shareholders to fund this research. So it's incredibly risky. We don't know if this is going to be successful, but what they're expecting the shareholders to do is to accept share dilution as they sell shares into the market to continue funding this research. Now, obviously, if it's successful, that would be a game changer. This could be a powerhouse asset, but we don't know if it's going to be successful. They could just continue diluting their shareholders forever, and the share price could go to zero. So that's why this asset does not have guaranteed upside. It's like 50-50 at this point. Yes, there's a lot going for it. Yes, more and more money is going to be pumped into this asset. And yes, they could succeed and change the world, but they could also not succeed and go to zero. It could take years for this to play out. And unfortunately, this asset does not have years because its lifeline comes from selling shares. Yes, they have $27 million on their balance sheet. That should take them somewhere, and they're getting funding. But the issue is we don't know. So that's the risk. It could go to zero, or it could be potentially life-changing. So venture capital firms usually diversify into assets like this. Let's say they invest in 100 different assets. If 99 of them go to zero, but one of them 10,000x's. Let's say they invested $1 into each of the 100 assets. 99 go to zero, so they lose $99. That one 10,000x's, they make $10,000 minus $99. That's how venture capital firms work. You can't go big into assets like this. You have to diversify. But it is incredibly exciting technology that could have life-changing returns. So that's where we are with this early stage asset.